Entertainment, by its definition, is an escape from reality, such as playing your favourite video game. But do we ever think for a second how this technology we take for granted is created? Do we ever think about what inspired their creations and how they evolved? This is the evolution of gaming. The birth of video gaming is attributed to Stephen Russell with the earliest known digital interactive computer game, Spacewar. Developed at MIT that ran on a PDP-1, the switches on the gamepad controlled the trajectory and the actions of the spacecraft. A separate joystick could also be wired into the switches to improve playability. From the birth of video games to the birth of the first video game console, working prototype, in 1967 named the Brown Box. Due to its appearance, it was invented by Ralph Baer, also known as the father of video games. He developed the console so it could be attached to an ordinary TV set, and there were 6 simple games to the console, including ping pong and volleyball. Accessibility to video games was not made easy due to the limited placement in arcades. This all changed in 1971 when Ralph Baer created the Maganov Odyssey. This console included original games like football and Wipeout. The Maganov offered very low graphics considering current arcade machines at the time. Due to poor marketing, this console did not sell very well, selling only 300,000 in its lifetime.
Hi, my name is Tracy Whittaker. For 3 years I studied games design at the Hull School of Art Design. I graduated in the year 2011 with a 2-1 BA Honours. The graphics were blocky, pixels, with no basic feel of depth to the environment. The sound was like a bad electronic organ, kind of annoying really. The basic controllers give us basic motions and actions for which limited the interaction with our avatar. Video games were still a novel entertainment for short periods of time. Multiplayer meant sitting in front of your TV with your friends and families. There was no real aesthetic beauty or deep storyline like modern video games to keep you playing for hours.
First experience must have been with Sonic the Hedgehog on the Sega Mega Drive.
Well, one of my first experiences, memories, was visiting my auntie and uncles, and we all sat on the floor taking it in turns to play ping pong on the Admont grandstand. However, our first computer, it was an Amstrad CPC, and I played that platform game called Sorcery on it.
In 1977, Atari had released their first console that was CPU based. The system came over to the UK in 1978 with its best-selling game being Pac-Man. The console was sure to be a huge hit and was selling over 30 million units since it was first produced. The controls of the system was a simple joystick and paddle setup.
First time I ever played any sort of console was in Withensea, I suppose, in the arcades. It was like a Formula 1 simulated racing game. That's about it. When did I buy it? I bought it, it must have been about 1980. First time I'd ever played anything like that at home. I thought it was really good, really cool. You get plenty of different games for it, and in them days you had the option of black and white or colour, which was a bonus. Well, really the only previous experience I'd had was, like I said before, in arcades at Withensea, and there was pretty much quite not very sharp, very blurry, and you know, the Atari brought it home. It was pretty sharp, really colourful. It was a good game. I loved it, and I've still got it today, and I'd never get rid of it.
The Vertex was another second generation console designed by Jerry Carr and releasing in North America in 1982 and in the EU in 1983. The Vertex was the first and only ARM-based system to ever use a Vertex-based screen. The console failed to win massive audiences with very low sales worldwide.
I'd always created my own character designs and environments, and I thought the video game industry seemed to strive for the same things that I did, which was realism. I saw the potential after playing Tomb Raider on the PlayStation 1 of finally being able to create something believable. Environments, aesthetic characters, seemed like an actual progression for me.
Even though there were numerous consoles and games in the public's interest, video games caught popularity for numerous years until the next peak of the 5th generation consoles. The Nintendo DS has become the second most selling console of all time. The N64 was one of the first consoles to incorporate 3D graphics in their gaming experience. This was a substantially different perspective and experience to these particular video games and has aided in future generations of consoles. This was the first console to feature the analog stick. This console spawned plenty of successful games such as Mario and the Pokemon franchise.
It'd probably be Pokemon when I was about 7 or so. Pokemon Blue version on Game Boy Advance.
I am Harrison Firth. I'm apprentice publisher at T1 Limited. My job role is I review games, do gaming news, and I also do all the graphical things for our online magazines. This is quite a big question, really. There's a few key points that make a game really stand out, and that would be the story. If a game has a good story, it keeps the player occupied and keeps them wanting to play more and more. But without a decent gameplay and game mechanics, players will also get bored, so that is another strong point needed. There are other things like good voice acting, good soundtrack, things like that, but they come second really to the story and gameplay.
You may think that these games are not very popular. However, you are wrong. In assuming that, these games are played in a very competitive manner, unlike the typical Nintendo family-orientated gameplay. There are many gamers who are well known for completing these games in record-breaking times. One of them is Siglemic, who has beaten Super Mario 64 within 1 hour and 44 minutes. He has also gained a huge fan base and live streams on a website called Twitch. Nintendo is known for the creation of the biggest franchise of all time, Mario. Mario has been in numerous different types of games, from 2D platformers to 3D racing games. Mario is a plumber who's tasked in saving the captured Princess Peach. This storyline was a bigger step in video games, as it gave the player an objective to carry on playing by using the prop narrative theory with the hero, villain, and damsel in distress. This franchise has sold over 446 million units in its time, and more spin-offs are currently in progress now.
Well, I have an affection for Lara Croft, and I was inspired to create my own kick-ass female character called Vipers. She's a Cobra human hybrid martial artist, total kick-ass. I also have a passion for survival horror genres, for example, the Resident Evil series, Silent Hill, Project Zero, the list goes on really. And that inspired me to create my own survival horror game concept about history, which is a first person survival horror, really.
The gaming industry's second peak saw the birth of the PlayStation 1. When this system hit the EU in 1995, the PlayStation 1 was a 32-bit system. The console had come with its own dual analog controller, which was replaced in 1997 by the DualShock controller. The main difference between the two was the additional analog sticks and the rumble vibration feature. The console was widely popular, selling over 102 million units. A reason why the console was so popular was because of the vast array of games, with over 7,000 produced, with popular franchises such as Tomb Raider, Crash Bandicoot and Gran Turismo, all selling over 20 million units.
So I get a game, I first do research on the developers, development and the genre of the game, giving me key bits of information I can portray to my readers. I then find out sort of game it's similar to, so that I can let my readers get used to the game before they've even started hearing about it. I then play 10 to 15 hours of the game, taking notes while I am doing, and then I start writing the review, making sure that I hit all the key points that I've put in my notes.
The technical advances moved on from a 2D to a fully 3-dimensional game in the 5th generation. Super Mario 64, Crash Bandicoot and Spyro the Dragon were the first games to embrace the new technologies. The PlayStation 2 changed the face of the pre-existing consoles by changing the disc software from CD-ROM to DVD-ROM. PlayStation 2 was a 64-bit and released in March 2000. To this day, the PlayStation 2 is the world's most popular gaming console, selling over 155 million units until it was discounted in 2012. The PlayStation's 12-year lifespan had spawned over 3,800 games and many popular releases such as Kingdom Hearts, God of War and the massive hit with over 17 million sales, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
I think they're breaking out. There's a recent Pokemon Mystery Dungeon coming out in May, which I'm planning on getting, and I quite like the franchise. I haven't played the Pokemon Ranger, but I have got the Wii versions of Pokemon, and obviously I have the typical normal Pokemons. And yeah, I think they're doing something good. They're giving all children something to do.
The most commonly used console at this present day is the Xbox 360. Since 2005, this console has taken over youth entertainment as it supplies an experience that not only allows the players to game, but they are able to socialise much greater through Xbox Live. A group up to 8 friends can join a party together and communicate with one another to strategise tactics on the games which they are playing. Over the years, many apps have been developed especially for Xbox Live, such as Facebook, Netflix, Bing, and the more recently Internet Explorer. With the Xbox Live release, came up the rise of the online gaming, encouraging millions of users to sign up and take their gaming experience one step further. This console sold over 77 million units since its release in 2005, and currently the 7th best selling console of all time.
My favourite gaming franchise has to be the Metal Gear franchise, simply because when I was younger, I remember playing the original Metal Gear 2, and not knowing what was going on, I just thought I played the game. And then when I got older, played Metal Gear Solid, and Metal Gear Solid 2, and it's just solid story, solid gameplay, and then when the others came out they were answering questions I'd never even knew I had, but yet it still made sense.
Gaming events were created to give the audience a chance to interact with other gamers. I attended a gaming event in the Hull Game Superstore. The game that was being presented to the people who turned up to the event was Grid 2. This event allowed fans of the game and the game genre to get access to the game before release. The event hosts many activities for gamers to participate in, such as 2 Audi R8s present outside the location for fans of the genre to inspect and take photos, and also a special guest appearance turned up to greet fans and make the event more memorable. The Grid 2 special guest was Top Gear superstar, The Stig.
Oh, what it takes here? Well, like tonight, as you see, we did basically get a few tellies down, a few consoles down, basically play the game early, and also just win a few prizes here and there, like we like to do. And then other events, like say, we get big game companies coming down, bringing the game as well. Obviously, they give them all prizes like the Codemasters tonight have. And like I say, the other month, sorry, we had a Justice here with about 6 arcade machines, so I had a game. And the top win that with an American joystick. And also as well, we had the tournament. That gentleman hit it all the way from Leeds, he came all the way down here, he won it. It was the atmosphere, just for good time. It's free events, and also as well to test the game out before it comes out, so they get a little taste and see if they like it or not. And also as well to hear future events that's coming out, what we're doing. Well, the question is like what games are coming out, what games we can promote and stuff like that, because the problem is, it's not just games that we say, oh, we'll do that though in this month, it's purely what the game manufacturers do, like Microsoft, Sony, lots of Codemasters. Obviously if they got a game or they want to promote, they contact us, let us know what the event's going on, they would like to do, and they'll come down and actually do the game.
Yeah, the atmosphere is amazing and it's fun socialising with people who have the same interests as me.
In 2006, Nintendo had released a console which had changed the gaming experience for gamers of all ages. This is because of the physically demanding motion controls. The Wii games are controlled by the player, physically moving with their controllers to make the game react to the specific hand movements. The Wii controller works by using infrared sensors to manipulate the characters on screen. There are various controllers for this console, like the balance board, which is most commonly used for fitness. This encouraged gamers to get off their sofa to make an effort playing with their games. The fact that the player is using themselves as controllers makes gaming more realistic and exciting to play. On the Wii, you are able to create characters which are known as avatars. These avatars are customizable so the players can match their avatar's look with their own. The Nintendo Wii is an appropriate console for all ages, as the games are created for children, teenagers, adults and for the elderly. This console is the 5th best selling console, selling over 99 million units, breaking records straight after release.
I reckon I've seen more person-interacted gaming such as the Xbox 360 Connect, where the person actually becomes the controller and stuff. It just seems more sociability is like that's the way forward.
Well, with the way that the gaming industry is going at the moment, there's been a big switch from more hardcore gaming and targeting little groups of gamers to more casual gaming, like mobile gaming, gaming on your tablet. Basically, you can game anywhere now.
Gaming is the future, because now all generations can just pick up a pad and just play.
There's also been a big switch to free-to-play games. Soon you won't be paying for many of your games, it will be more online transactions which will pay for the games.
I like the fact that it takes me out of the real world and somehow just means the life of the character.
Since the earliest concepts of gaming consoles, the brown box, gaming has come a long way, with graphics greatly improving and consoles vastly widening the content by branching out with different sections of entertainment, such as gaming, music and television. The next generation of consoles are currently being developed and without a doubt will continue to entertain its audience.